So when you're in the position of learning, when you're a student, just be quiet and learn. Then once you learn, you start to, you be quiet, learn your craft, then execute your craft. Then you're successful. That's it.
I'm gonna argue that point.
Wait, give him the mic. And then put the mic, and then put the camera on. Is it lit enough?
Yes, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Turn that light a little bit.
I'm gonna argue that point. And I'm gonna argue that point because you got this gentleman sitting next to you.
Uh-huh.
And this gentleman here has made history.
Uh-huh.
And he made history on his terms.
Uh-huh.
He didn't shut up until he learned his craft. He was But you, as a director, or as directors, we have to talk when we think that we're ready, not when we know we're ready. If you work as an AD, if you do anything, when you think you're ready, you take that step. But the main point I want to get to was this. What I loved about your film is that you copied different genres, or you had different styles of directors.
But let me get you a better mic. Can you? Yeah.
Hold it close.
What?
Testing 1, 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I want to go back to the film. Okay. Before we get away on being stuff. In the beginning of your film, you had shades of Guy Ritchie. End of your film, you had shades of Quentin Tarantino. And I'm like, wow, this guy is on a different space. But then last night, I watched your film, Honor Up. And you had some things in your film that were unique in its own way. When you incorporate opera music with gangster scenarios, when you take the middle of your film and you put it in the beginning with all the violence and the executions and the shooting, and then you go back to the middle and you show that, how it connects, I'm like, it's a new game being played right now. And I respect both you gentlemen for the way you're doing it, for how you execute your projects. And I'm glad you're sitting there because I wish that you two would ask each other, how did you come up with this style of directing?
So let me say something to that. In anything that you do, it's important that you have a point of view. You know, something that makes you an individual, something that shows your taste. So, you know, the thing I like about, and I'm going to start calling all the directors, I call them generals, because making a film is a war, and you have to lead an army. So for this general, you know, he's into the fashion, you know, he's into the entrepreneurial shit, you know, he makes pens, and he makes clothes, he makes watches, and, you know, he has a marketing plan, you know, and he has a tour. You know, it's about showcasing who you are on every level. So I love the fact that you recognize certain things. And, you know, what I do is I put little booby traps in there that not everyone's going to get. So, for example, you know, I had Smoke Desert rolling weed on a Peter Beard painting. I was like, I want to see who catches that. I just want to see who has certain levels of taste. You know, because I always think my taste is superior. But I'm always looking for somebody better so I can learn from them. So I think what he was saying is when someone is better than you or someone has been through the war and won it, that's the time to shut up. But when you're fighting this war, that is not the time to shut up. You know, there's a time to talk, there's a time to listen, there's a time to prepare. You know, the thing about bringing armies together is the only purpose is to win a war. You know? And when you get with another army, you be like, damn, you got some shit I don't have. But I have some shit that you don't have. Let's make sure that we isolate our weaknesses and focus on our strengths. And then we get more like-minded people. So what this is more showcasing to me is what it looks like when black generals get together, and it's like, what are we really fighting for? It's for independence. It's so that we can showcase our point of view and not ever be told how by especially another culture. Because I've done it enough, the other way just doesn't work. I'm gonna just tell you. So you can look successful in that world, but in your heart, you're frustrated. Every day, all day. So that's why when I made Paid in Full, I was like, this will not happen again until I can do it on my terms. You know? But the thing about going through a war and fighting for the same thing, when you recognize somebody else that's fighting fearlessly for what you're fighting for, the same, you should click up. You don't become competition, you become a nightmare for your opposition. And that's what this is. So, you know, there's a lot of filmmakers in here. And we're all arrogant. You have to know you're gonna win to get into a war, or else that's called suicide. So everyone in here was like, I don't know how I get there, I'm getting there.
Amen.
And sometimes, you know, you have to be like, the opportunity presents itself, I gotta jump all over that. Sometimes you don't have time to prepare correctly, but you get it done. Figure it out in the editing room. But when you do have time to prepare, you have to remember that it's not the same battle anymore. Because when you're not prepared, that's for battles. But you gotta be prepared to win a war. Because your competition is preparing. So, you know me, I like anything I learn, I like to teach it. And when someone is saying something I don't know, I do not talk, I listen. But then I ask a lot of questions. So, you know, welcome to the fam.
So I want to say something about Dame, and people remember him for Honor Up and Paid in Full and everything else, but he made a really, really, really dope ass movie called The Woodsman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people don't talk about how great that movie was. And I watched it. I didn't even realize that Dame produced that movie until at the end. I saw the credits, and I was like, "Oh!" But it was a great movie. It was Kevin Bacon was in that movie. Yeah, a beautiful movie. So when you're talking about what you saw in Honor Up, you know what I mean? He already had that in him. If you were following him before, and when you spoke about him doing it his way. You don't get to that level unless there was a point in time when you were quiet. I'm from off the corners, right? And off the corners, you watch the OGs and you study them. And when they're talking, you and you learn and then you apply it. So when I get to school and I'm in school and I'm talking all my to my dudes, they think it's coming organically, but it's not. I got it from the OGs. So I was shut the long enough to listen to them so I could distribute it over here. Right? And also I play football and I also box. When you go to the corner, when you in the ring, you doing your own thing.
You know, I just got a belt.
Oh yeah.
It's in the car.
So when so when you're in the ring, you doing your own thing because you're a boxer, right? But before you get to the ring, you green. You got to learn how to throw a jab. You got to learn how to throw a hook. You got to learn how to move. You got to learn how to slip punches.
You got to learn how to have stamina.
You got to learn how to have stamina. Right? And then even when you're a professional and you're in the ring and you're fighting, you get to the corner and your corner man is talking to you and you shut the up. Because what he's giving you is great advice. If you're sitting there and the corner man's talking like, nah, but I got him, you guaranteed to lose. So at every point, in order to learn, you have to shut up. And I know people don't like me saying shut up, but it needs to get into your head to shut up. You know what I mean? I'm saying it that way for a reason. Not to be nasty, but in order for you to grab it and gravitate. If you're in a learning situation and you find yourself wanting to tell the teacher what you know, then once you apply what you know or what the teacher just gave you to somebody else, you're a genius.
And then you can tell people the
Then you can tell people the right? But you have to earn that.
Yeah,
so that's what that was all about.
Okay. So, you know, again, now that there's support, you know, now that you're a part of someone that, or a crew that's doing things that you're doing, how are you going to do things different for a better result?
Collaboration is the key in this business. You can't, no man is an island, right? So you just look for the best of the best, and you kind of like just get together with the best people. You know, let the pros do what the pros do. Even though on this particular project, I'm a one-man army because I have to be. I don't want to be. It's nothing narcissistic about me that says.
The next one.
The next one, hopefully I'll have more money and I can hire more people.
This is damn. You don't have to. You got a crew.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I'm just going through it. My realistic.
You have to get used to having a crew.
Oh no, I have a crew, and I'm used to using.
No, another part. Like what part of your crew now?
Right, so I'm good. So you're asking me what I'm going to do? I'm going to collaborate with all the people that's in this room.
Check it out.
And I'm going to rock this bell. I'm going to collaborate with all the people that's in this room and all the people that's a part of the Dame Dash family.
Well, now you have more cameras, you have more lenses, you have more lights, you have distribution for fashion, for music, for movies, for art. You know, there's a lot of things that the spaceship does. You just got to learn how to fly it. And you already do know how to fly it because of things, a lot of things you're already doing. You're already doing the fashion. Yeah. You know, you're already doing the watches. Remember I did the Therese back in the day? It's a rough business. She got to be Swiss made. At least that's what I was learning. It's a rough business. But it's a brand you have to build. Right. You know what I mean? And what I like about the crew at Dame Dash Studios of directors or generals is it's a competitive situation to keep each other sharp, to keep the knife sharp. So, you know, this is my man, we family. I'm battling him.
Absolutely.
He going movie for movie.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.